part of our video, Akbar and his times. In the previous video, we discussed about his emergence as an emperor, and then we discussed about his policies and about many details or what are the good things which he have done in the initial stages. And in this part, we are going to study about the Mansabdari system, his revenue policies, art and architecture, and other details of him, along with the administration. Administration we have already completed in the previous video. Now, in this video, we will discuss about his administration in the form of revenue policies and Mansabdari system. Now, we will see the topics which we are going to deal in this part of our video. They are, first one is Mansabdari system, then the revenue system, Akbar's religious policy, and in this religious policy, a hall which is made by him called Ibadat Khana, and the Din-e-Ilahi, the new religion made by him. Then social and education reforms, cultural achievements, and art and architecture. These are the topics which we are going to deal in this part of our video. In this video, it is of two parts. In the next part, you can see the important points and the details. And here I will just give you an introduction of this part. So let's start with the Mansabdari system. What is this Mansabdari system? Mansabdari system, we can call it as a rank. Like the land, the people are given rank, Saat and Zawar, and along with this rank, they are given land also. And according to their position, the land will be more. And they are not paid in salary. What the outcome of the land is, that is their income or their salary. So this Mansabdari system is also, we can call it as a process which is almost like an Iqta system. So it is just a system where the people are given rank, and according to their rank, land is divided and given to them, and according to the land which they are getting, their rank or position is decided. Zat and Zawar are the two ranks. Now we will move to the next part. That is their revenue system. The revenue system means the tax collection. When we talk about the tax collection of Akbar, it is considered as one of the distinguished or a different way of collecting tax, and it is called as Todarmal's Bandobast. Todarmal was the revenue minister, and he was a person who was working under, when we studied about Sher Shah also we have heard his name. He was working under Sher Shah, and later when Akbar became the ruler, he became the revenue minister of Akbar. And then this new way of collecting tax or revenue system is called Todarmal's Bandobast. And according to that, so many new reforms were made. Land was calculated according to the produce. If it is more produce, that means if it is a Dove region or a place where more cultivation or more outcome is there, in such areas the tax will be more. And those areas where the outcome is less or the produce is less, in those areas the tax will be very less. And another important thing which they put forward is, during the time of drought and famine etc., the taxes were leased and it was not taken. So such concessions were given to the farmers. Now moving to the next part, that is Akbar's religious policy. Akbar, he was a Muslim ruler, but he was lenient towards everyone. He was a ruler who gave Rajputs or the Hindus also equal opportunity, not according to their religion but according to their merit. They were given their authorities. So like that, so many people were there, like even Birbal and Todarmal belong to Hindu community, but they are looked after well because they are very intelligent and the king utilized them properly. Here we can see his policy as he was a tolerant ruler, he was a lenient ruler, and along with that, he was a person who was having a vision. We know that, we have heard from many places that he was an illiterate. Though he was an illiterate, he was having so many ideas and he made or he established or he tried to do it in his empire for improvement of his empire. Here we can see his religious policy. He made an Ibadat Khana. It is a prayer hall. First it was used by the Muslims and later it was opened for every religion. And every people came together, or the people or the learned men of each religion came there. They put forward their views, their ideas etc. And like that it became a center of all the religions where the discussions were conducted. Now next one is, after discussions and all, they found Akbar was also called as Sulki Kul, or its aim was Sulki Kul or universal harmony. So Din Ilahi was a new religion made by Akbar. It was not that much successful one, but still it's a religion made by him for universal harmony or for the good of everyone. Now we see his social and educational reforms. So many educational reforms were made. He tried to increase the marriage age of boys and girls, and then he also gave importance for the secular education than any religious education. Like that, so many good things he have done. So all the details are given in the second part. Here their points are given. You can read that, you can learn from that. And the next one is cultural achievements. When we come to the cultural achievements, we can see that so many people worked under him. In that, 9 important people were there. Abul Fazl, Abul Faizi. Abul Fazl wrote Aini Akbari. Abul Faizi, he translated Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian. Like the Todarma, like that, so many great people were there. 9 were there in number who were considered as the 9 gems in the court of Akbar. So that also we will study about their portfolios or what they were looking after in the next part of the video. Now the last one is art and architecture. When we study about art and architecture, which comes under Akbar, we know that he built so many buildings like Diwani Fatehpur Sikri was a city made by him. Then so many buildings, Diwani Diwani Khas, like that, so many buildings were built by him, and he gave importance to making buildings, and along with that so many new types of architecture was introduced. It was a combination of Persian and Indian tradition. Like that, so many new buildings were made during the time of Akbar. So this is also only the portion which we have to discuss in this part of our video. It's a very small topic, and these are the main points which you have to understand and remember. And the topics are Mansabdari system, revenue, Akbar's religious policy, social and educational reforms, and cultural achievements in art and architecture. So here we wind up the second part in Akbar, and in the next part we will start with our continuation of the Mughals, and a small question answer or fill up questions are also given at the last. You can write that and you can learn that. Thank you.
Let's continue with the summary of the topic. This is the second part of our chapter Akbar and his time. In the first part we have discussed about Akbar, his early life, Akbar's conquest, his administration, and the unified coinage system and weights and measures which was used by him in his empire. In this part of the video, we are going to discuss about Mansabdari system, revenue system, Akbar's religious policy, art and architecture, etc. So here we start with Mansabdari system. Akbar developed a unique system of administration called Mansabdari system. Under this system, those who joined Mughal service were enrolled as Mansabdars and were given a rank known as Mansab. Each rank was further divided into Sat and Savar. These two are the grades which is given. Zat rank meant the personal status and salary due to him, whereas Savar rank indicates the number of cavalry a Mansab was required to maintain. The Mansabdars were paid salary according to their rank. The salary of the Mansabdars was paid by assigning him the revenue of a Jagir, somewhat like a Ikta. Revenue system. Akbar established an efficient land revenue system which continued till 1585. With the help of his revenue minister Todarmal, Akbar introduced the land revenue system known as Todarmal's Bandobast or settlement. The system was also known as Zabti or the Dashala system. Next point is the features of this revenue system. The land was surveyed and measured. The land was classified into 4 categories on the basis of regularly cultivated and occasionally cultivated. The revenue was calculated on the basis of average produce. The peasants were given omissions in the land revenue if crops failed due to drought and flood. So this is about the revenue system. It was also called as Todarmal's Bandobast or Zapti or Dashala system. So these are the four features of revenue system under Akbar. Now we'll move to the next point, that is Akbar's religious policy. Akbar followed the policy of religious tolerance and believed in administrating equal justice to the followers of all religion. He abolished jizya and pilgrim tax. Jizya, the tax which the non-Muslims were required to pay, and the pilgrim tax was taken on bathing at holy places such as Prayag and Benares. He treated all his subjects equally and gave high post according to merit. He married Rajput princes and allowed them the freedom to practice their own faith. He gave land grants to people of merit irrespective of their religious belief. Next one is Ibadat Khana and Din Ilahi. Ibadat Khana. Akbar wanted to create the spirit of love and brotherhood among the people of his religion. For that, he constructed Ibadat Khana in 1575. He built a hall. At first, the discussions were conducted about Islamic thinkers, Islamic followers came there for discussion, but later it was open to people of all religion like Christians, Zoroastrianists, Hindus, Jains, etc. In 1579, Akbar decided to take into his own hands all religious matters and issued a declaration or mahsa. The declaration made Akbar the supreme religious head of Muslims. Din Ilahi. The comparative study of different religion at Ibadat Khana led Akbar to form Din Ilahi, means divine faith, in 1582. The basic purpose of formation of Din Ilahi was Sul Ki Kul or universal harmony, and it believed in one supreme God. The basic purpose of formation is universal harmony. Now the next topic, that is social and educational reforms. Very important. Akbar abolished sati and legalized widow remarriage. He raised the age of marriage to 14 for girls and 16 for boys. He restricted the sale of wine and spirit. He revised educational syllabus and laid more stress on moral education and on secular subjects. He set up a translation department for translating works in Sanskrit, Arabic and Greek. Cultural achievements. Akbar was a patron of art and literature. Akbar was a versatile genius. He encouraged the study of astronomy, mathematics, logic and history. Akbar's court was adorned by 9 distinguished men from different fields. They are called Navaratnas. Abul Fazl, Faizi, Abdul Rahim Khan, Todarmal, Mansingh, Birbal, Tansen, Fakir, Aziuddin, Mulodo Piazza are different, or we call them as 9 gems, and they are also can consider them as a genius in different matters. Abul Fazl, he wrote Aini Akbari. Faizi translated Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian. Todarmal was his revenue minister. Mansingh was his military general, and Birbal his constant companion, and he was famous for his intelligence. And Tansen was a singer, like that. So all these 9 people are distinguished personalities in their own field. Painting. During the reign of Akbar, painting was organized in royal karkhanas. Different people from different parts of the country used to make beautiful paintings in karkhanas. The most famous work is Dastani Amir or Hamzanama. Jaswant and Daswant were the 2 famous painters of Akbar's court. Very important point. Dastani Amir or Hamzanama was a work or a painting work made, and Jaswant and Daswant were 2 famous painters of Akbar's court. Architecture. Akbar was the first Mughal emperor who undertook construction on a large scale. The most famous building built by him was Agra Fort. It was built with red sandstone and had many magnificent gates. Other important buildings are Panch Mahal, Diwani Khas, Jamia Masjid, Jodhabai's Palace, Ibadat Khana, the tomb of Salim Chishti, and the Buland Darwaza. Concluding about or conclusion of Akbar, we can conclude that he was considered as the best or the greatest of all the Mughals. He appointed his son Salim as his successor before his death in 1605. Akbar is regarded as one of the greatest ruler in India. Now let's see some fill-up questions which can be asked from this part of our chapter. First, number 1, dash was the new revenue system introduced by Akbar. 2, dash was a religious tax imposed on non-Muslims. 3, Abul Fazl wrote dash. Fourth question, dash translated the Mahabharata and Ramayana into Persian. 5, dash and dash were the two famous painters of Akbar's court. And the sixth one, the basic purpose of the formation of dash by Akbar was universal harmony. So that is all about the second chapter of our third term, Akbar and his times. And you can read the chapter. Question answers are already given. You can learn that. Thank you.